Every holiday, DC loves to celebrate by doing a special comic book. This Halloween, they did DC's House of Horrors. So what we did was we picked our 3 favorite stories from these ghost stories of your favorite superheroes. There's a lot more in the comic, but we picked the 3 that we enjoy. A timeline in which the Justice League becomes the Justice Zombies. A timeline in which Billy Batson returns, but Shazam isn't a good guy. And a timeline in which Superman is an alien bent on killing everyone. So it's like every bad Superman timeline ever. Enjoy. Recording plays of John Constantine listening that they need to get help back on Earth. Everywhere from London, Metropolis, Radea, Mumbai, Tokyo, and even Gotham. The chaos is spreading. All it takes is a bite, and many of the world's superheroes and villains have already fallen. So all that is left is them. Send Wonder Woman in a pint if you don't mind. Wonder Woman looks a lot better than the lot of them. As John goes on, the door breaks down and he says, "They got in. I always thought it would be cigarettes that would get me." And then he shoots himself. However, John's message falls on deaf ears with no one able to listen or help. No one. Human, at least. Up in the ventilation shafts of the space station, Hal Jordan watches the quickly shufflings of the Flash. As he walks by, Hal spots Diana, but she isn't changing like Barry did. Perhaps it's because she's Amazonian? Does the virus only affect humans? What's gonna happen to him? He looks back at his bleeding hand where his finger once was and the lantern ring should be, and he asks, am I gonna be like them now? He drags himself through the shaft thinking of all of the years that he's had the ring, how he felt like a god. And now he just feels human, powerless, and afraid. It was only a short while ago that he was standing here with John, getting ready to have their weekly meeting when it all happened. Barry was running late, which is odd for the fastest man alive. Except when he did show up, he looked like hell, like he had just been through a war zone. John asked what happened, and Barry huffed, telling him that a normal civilian did this. She bit him. Something weird is going on down on Earth. Hal continues pushing himself towards sickbay when the smell of death hits his nose. That's when he sees him, Bruce, with his chest ripped out. He keeps walking though, hoping that he thinks that this isn't happening, especially to Batman. Suddenly a groan can be heard and Hal looks back and sees Batman standing up, reaching for him. Batman lunges forward and Hal knows that Batman is strong, but for a dead man, he's much slower than before. He punches into Batman's face, telling him he's already lost a finger today, but Batman doesn't stop. He tries clawing and biting through Hal's guard, just as determined as when he was alive. Just after the Flash arrived, Batman wanted to interrogate him instead of help him. He said that the Flash was dying from a virus and there was nothing that they could do to help him. The only thing that they could do was learn what had happened to those on Earth. Hal could hear the screams coming from the interrogation room as seconds later the Flash appeared chewing on a piece of his intestines. Hal musters up all of the strength for one last hit and he punches Batman so hard that his neck snaps and his head spins. But even that doesn't stop Batman's stubbornness. A faint sound can be heard coming towards Hal and then Barry appears charging forward. He steps out of the hallway, letting the Flash run into the wall, and he says that he may still have the Speed Force, but it won't help someone without motor skills. As Hal presses on, he passes Jean's body. He hasn't turned, just like Diana has it, which means that it must only affect the humans. Soon, Hal arrives at the teleporter and he thinks that this has been one hell of a week for Superman to be on vacation. And maybe, just maybe when he gets back to Earth, Hal can take Guy's ring and, yes, that's it, with the ring he can stop the infection. Then he hears of the quick shamblings of the fastest man who used to be alive. It was the Flash who had taken Hal's ring in the first place with one bite of his finger. And now, he has a bloody hand and no ring, but no, he isn't powerless. Human, yes, but not powerless. He is Hal Jordan, and he doesn't need Guy's ring when there's a perfectly good one in the Flash's stomach. He runs over to the Flash, knocking him over, and begins punching into the Flash's stomach, ripping out anything that he can get his hands on. He asks, where is it, until finally he puts on the ring. Hal gets back up, stating that it's okay if Barry wanted to eat that finger. He's got 9 left for him to choke on. 3 weeks later, Superman did return home, only to discover that he was the last survivor of a dead planet again. Next, we have the story of Billy Batson and Shazam. What if Shazam wasn't a benevolent spirit that took him over? What if it wasn't good magic? What if it was something that possessed him? As Billy sits on the subway, he thinks back to something Thompson once told him. They are born alone, they live alone, they die alone. Something Billy understands to its fullest. There is something broken inside of him, broken real bad, which is why he has to break up with Laura. He knows one day he'll explode, and when he does, he doesn't want her around. As Billy waits, he thinks that there is no point to even try and be normal. He knows himself far too well. The thoughts that slink in and out of his head, making him want to do things, terrible things, all as if there was someone else inside of him or something. Just then a homeless man walks by telling Billy, it's not just the word, it's how you say it. Billy shouts, Christ almighty, shove off! The man repeats himself, taking out a piece of paper, and he hands it over, stating that it's in the accent, the way you say it. And Billy sighs, taking the paper. He opens it up and he reads the word, Shazam. And he tells the man that kind of word. But when he looks up, the man is gone. The next morning, Billy wakes up hearing a voice telling him, eggs and bakey. Hurry, Billy, hurry. We have a big day coming. Billy tells the voice to leave him alone, and the voice tells him, what if we don't leave you alone? Just say it. Just say the word. Ecstasy awaits. Just say it. Billy crumples the paper, shouting, just get the hell out of my head already. And the voice says, come on. Say my name. You know you want to. Just say the word. Later that day, Billy meets with Laura to break things off, which she clearly isn't happy about. She screams that he can't break up with her. She's the one who breaks up with people. It's her call. And Billy asks, does it matter? I just don't want to see you anymore. You don't want to be around if I pop. No one will be safe around me. And she shouts, asking, what is that supposed to be? Is it a threat? But her voice is drowned out from that voice from before. Billy looks over to where the voice is coming from and he sees the billboard with the word Shazam. And the voice asking, how do you like me now? Laura storms off telling him, fine, we're through. And Billy quietly tells her, you're welcome. It's better anyway. I might kill you if given the chance. He turns back and the billboard has changed, but the word Shazam is still on it. The voice tells him, just think of the opportunity. Just the two of us now. He reaches into his coat and he feels the piece of paper, and as he takes it out, he realizes it's the same paper that he threw away at the apartment. He crumples it up again, stating, the old man did this. The word is like a virus. And soon, everywhere Billy looks, he sees the word Shazam, 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 Shazam. On building signs, even in his coffee, it's everywhere. The voice begins to grow louder, telling Billy that we could be great friends. It's in the accent, the way you say it. And Billy shouts to the voice, shut up, shut up, shut up! As the night comes, the voice continues to pester and bother Billy, saying that it's just us against the world. All you have to do is say the word and you can do anything. Billy tells the voice, no, I won't let it happen. And the voice tells him, I've always had you, just collecting what's mine. Billy shouts to God, just leave me alone, and the voice says, God has left the building, Billy. And what of Laura? You don't want her to die, right? Not by another's hand? What are you afraid of? Just say the word, become! Billy pulls out the piece of paper asking him, why me? Why choose me of all people? And the voice tells him, it's because it's your turn. It's how the universe works. Now say the word, Billy. Billy looks up asking, if I say it, will I be left alone? Will Laura be left alone? And the voice tells him, say it and I'll never ask again. I won't need to. We'll be together forever. And with that, Billy grits his teeth and he shouts, Shazam! Now let's go to one more tale of horror. One more tale that will keep you up at night. What if Superman, when he arrived, wasn't a good alien? What if Martha Kent brought him home, not realizing the demon that she brought upon herself? It was a quiet night in Smallville, Kansas, that was, until something crashed out into the cornfields. A human body lays there, but something is covering it, infecting it. And then there's a sound not of this earth. Martha Kent steps out on her porch asking what the hell is that noise. Probably just birds finding a new way to let her know that they're there. She takes out her phone, dialing her husband John's number again, stating that she swears if he turned it off again. Back in the cornfields, the phone does ring, except Jonathan, he just can't answer it right now. Martha sighs, figuring John may have just run into Nauman Gardner again. Those two can sit and talk for hours. She heads back inside and then an unearthly sound comes back. She pours herself a glass of water and she thinks that she's curious about what she just heard out there, but not curious enough to go out there. That's what husbands are for. Then there's a crash and a loud thumping coming from the stairs. The thumping gets louder and louder, and Martha tells herself that she's seen enough scary movies to know better than go up there. All she has to do is call Kravitz. Let him handle whatever it is. That badge ought to count for something around here. Suddenly, the thumping stops and something falls through the ceiling and onto the floor. The sound can be heard again and Martha begins to run. Whatever it was that fell gets up and chases after Martha, knocking her through the door and onto the porch. The creature tumbles by and Martha gets up holding her broken arm, stating, "This can't be happening. She can't stay here. She needs to go to the shed. That's where the guns are. All she needs to do is get there." She struggles to walk, and just before she can enter the shed, a red blast shoots into her, destroying the shed. She rolls around trying to put out the flame, stating that she must be dreaming. None of this can be real. Then she turns back to the creature, shouting, if it can hear her, do its worst because she knows it's not real. The creature leaps into the air, and Martha says, "That's right. I scared it off." She looks at the truck, thinking that the shock will wear off soon, then she can go get help. It's the best thing that she can do right now. She walks to the truck, saying, "Talking to yourself is never a good thing. Only crazy people talk to themselves." She then strains herself getting into the cab and she pulls down the visor as the keys fall out. She thanks John for not doing what she told him to do. Before Martha could get the keys in, there's a thud, and the creature lands on the hood of the truck staring in, and then it screams. The windshield shatters, and Martha shouts, "God in heaven is just a dream." The creature picks up the truck and throws it across the field with Martha's body thrown out of it. She points at the creature saying, "You got me real good. Can I just wake up now, please?" The creature doesn't answer, and then the truck explodes on top of her. It stands there looking at the wreckage, and then it says something in its native language before flying off. And there you have it, the House of Horrors. I hope you'll enjoy this Halloween, and maybe you'll watch our video again, or perhaps Batman Long Halloween. Enjoy your tales from the crypt!